Scanning for audio.
Welcome to a Tin Dog podcast, recorded before my voice finally gives out. Well, you know, it is a fairly annual occurrence, so I thought I'd get as many done as I could. So this time I'm talking about, well, the Series 7A box set, or Series 7 Part 1 box set. Now, according to Amazon, it's a 2-disc set. According to Play.com, it's a 2-disc set. So imagine how utterly excited I was when I opened the post yesterday and received 3 DVDs. Disc 1, labelled Series 7 Part 1. Disc 2, labelled Series 7 Part 2. Fairly expected so far. But when you get to Disc 3, it says, Title, Weeping Angels. I'm thinking, is this a bonus disc? Is this a collection of all of the angel stories in one go? Oh, that'll be quite a nice bonus. So I get all excited and I sit down and I put Disc 1 in, and Disc 1 has episodes 1, 2 and 3. That's Asylum of the Daleks, the dinosaurs, what you were expecting. Disc 2, episodes 4 and 5, and some special features, which I'll talk about in a minute. So then I get ready and I put in Disc 3, and Disc 3 is just Disc 2 again with a different label. So after that initial bit of excitement, I then realise that what I've actually got is Disc 1 and Disc 2 twice, which is still lovely, very nice. I'm worried about why they're doing that, and if one of them has some sort of hidden features on them, and if they have, I'm damned if I can find them. So what do you get? Well, you get your 5 episodes from September, from the highs of riding a dinosaur to the relative lows of, well, disappointing Zygons. Watched back to back, you definitely get the feeling that the Doctor really did kind of start visiting the Ponds out of order in order to try and make himself feel better after the events in the Angels story. But not half as much as I thought I would. I was expecting some sort of, well, giveaway. One thing that I was expecting in the extras was the unfilmed scene that everyone's been making such a fuss about. That I'll include at the end of this podcast as an extra bonus, because it apparently isn't on these DVDs, and it is available online. So just in case you've missed it, it's a bit heartbreaking, but it's well worth listening to. So bear with me past the titles for that one. But that's not what we're here for. What we're here to discuss is this box set. Historically, you used to get a DVD that would come out quite soon after the BBC had shown the episode. That way anyone who wanted to own it could get it quite soon. And if you wanted the extras, you would buy the box set later on. Normally just in time for Christmas. Except this year that's not going to happen. This really is classed as the same as the vanilla set, because extras-wise it's a bit thin on the ground. But more importantly, last year's Christmas special isn't included, which implies that if you're going to get a big box set of everything, you're going to have last year's Christmas special, these episodes, and the rest of Series 7, which means the box set definitely won't be out in time for Christmas, unless the BBC are trying to plan something incredibly odd, which is bring a box set out at Christmas, which isn't listed in any newspapers or magazines, with containing episodes which aren't even shot yet. No, that's just not going to happen. So this is the one that will be filling a lot of people's stockings. A boxed set, complete with apparently even more extras, and all of the episodes including last year's Christmas special, and probably next year's Christmas special, i.e. the 2012 one, will be available at some point, though God only knows when. So that's all up for conjecture and debate. Let's discuss what you get here. Well, like I said, you get your lovely 5 episodes, all laid out, and yes, you can watch them back to back, and they're really not a hardship. They're not bad whatsoever. But you might already have them on your DVR, or you might have taped them, or God knows what process people are using these days. So it's the special features. Well, on this lot you get the entirety of Pond Life, which I've finally seen. I'm not a big fan of going on the internet to find out my extras. I like my television on my television. I'm old-fashioned that way. And a lot of people would say, yes, that is a very old-fashioned attitude, but you know, it's mine. Get over it. You've got Pond Life episodes 1 to 5. You can watch them individually or all back-to-back. The back-to-back version still contains the credits. You've got Asylum of the Daleks prequel, something I'd never come across, consisting of the Doctor sitting in a cafe and being contacted by what looks like a headless monk. And then there's a lovely little short called The Making of Gunslinger, which is a kind of prequel webisode sort of thing. But the most important bit of that is it's directed by Neil Gorton, the effects man. Every effects person I've ever known in my life wants to be a sci-fi director deep down. They just can't help it. They know what their monsters look like, and they know what makes them look good, and they've all seen Terminator too many times. So Neil, you did a spectacularly good job on that. It's about 2 minutes long and it looks brilliant. It's just different enough from the creation of a Cyberman to be a different type of cyborg. And with one line addition, it makes Jex the scientist into the villain. Because if everyone had said, yeah, I'll sign up for that, I'll be the cyborg, I'll try and win the war, then the Doctor wouldn't have had a leg to stand on, and neither would the cyborg. If there was no duplicity, then it would have been fine. You should always worry when someone mentions a golden age. They're invariably wrong. So really, special features are fairly thin on the ground. They fill up what's left of Disc 2, and it's a nice 2-disc set. A nice, simple way to carry around the episodes you already have seen. And with that, I'll fade away and make space for you to hear Rory's message to his dad, which was never filmed, but exists here for you to listen to. Be seeing you. You've been listening to the Tin Dog Podcast. Doctor Who and its associated shows are copyright of the BBC. No infringement is intended. To contact the show, email tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk. To order, or simply find out more about the book Whostrology, the Time Traveller's Almanac, visit whostrology.com. The Tin Dog Podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.
I know. You both have lives here, beautiful, messy lives. That is what makes you so fabulously human. You don't want to give them up. I understand.
Actually, it's you they can't give up, Doctor. No, I don't think they should. Go with him. Go save every world you can find. Who else has that chance? Life will still be here.
You could come, Brian.
Somebody's got to water the plants.
Dear Dad, this is the difficult bit. If I've got this right, you're reading this letter a week after we left in the TARDIS. The thing is, we're not coming back. We're alive and well and stuck in New York 50 years before I was born. We can't come home again. I won't ever see you again. And that breaks my heart. I'm so sorry, Dad. I thought about this for years. and I realised there was one thing I could do. I could write to you, tell you everything about how we lived, how, despite it all, we were happy. But before I do, I need you to know, you are the best dad any son could have had. And for all the times I drove you mad and you drove me mad, all the times I snapped at you, I'm sorry. I miss everything about you, especially our awkward hugs. I bought a trowel. We have a small yard. I garden. But one more important bit of business. The man who delivered the letter, Anthony, be nice to him. Because he's your grandson. We finally adopted in 1946. Anthony Brian Williams. He can tell you everything. He'll have the family albums, and I realise having a grandson who's older than you is so far beyond weird, but I'm sorry. I love you, Dad. I miss you.
Urgent subspace communication incoming.
On the weekend of the 9th, 10th, 11th of November 2012, there's going to be a Doctor Who convention. In Stockton, there will be Dimensions. This is the grandchild of the old Dimensions on Time conventions. The list of guests is fantastic. Sylvester McCoy, Peter Davison, Fraser Hines, Louise Jameson, Terry Malloy, Bernard Holly, Nabil Shabang, Roy Holden, John Levine, John Leeson, Spencer Welding, Ian Cullen, Beth Chalmers, Virginia Hay, David Cyberman Banks, Martin Cochrane, Adrian Burgess, Terence Dix, Brian Croucher, Richard Watson, David Richardson, writers Matt Fitton and Mark Wright, Michael Troughton, the Ken Bentley, and of course David J. Howe and Sam Stone, author of those reasonably popular zombie books, all taking place in Stockton. There are tickets still available, and I for one am definitely going, because that's the weekend that I'll be there, able to sign copies of Whostrology. So if you see me there, say hi. Visit the 10th Planet website, and you can book directly through them.
Urgent subspace communication incoming.